The 13th Titan: Legends of the Forgotten Island. What if everything we know about Attack on Titan is only half the story? Deep within the archives of Marley's military headquarters, there exists a classified document that has never seen daylight. A document so dangerous that only 3 people in history have been allowed to read it. The first died under mysterious circumstances. The second vanished without a trace. The third person was Willie Tiber, and we all know what happened to him. This document contains a single, earth-shattering revelation: there were never 9 Titan powers. There were 10. The discovery that changes everything in 1919. Exactly 4 years after the Great Titan War ended, a Marleyan exploration vessel named the Iron Wolf was conducting routine maritime surveys in the South Pacific. What they found defied every map, every satellite image, and every known law of geography. An island that existed in no records, appeared on no charts, yet stood majestically in coordinates that should have been empty ocean. The captain's log, recovered decades later from a sunken ship off the coast of Madagascar, contained this haunting entry: Day 847 of expedition. We have discovered what appears to be an uncharted landmass. The island exhibits peculiar electromagnetic properties. Our compasses spin wildly, and radio equipment malfunctions within a 5-mile radius. Most disturbing of all, the crew reports seeing massive humanoid figures moving along the coastline. They walk upright, but they are wrong, too tall, too perfect, and they seem to be watching us. The Iron Wolf never returned to port, but their emergency beacon, activated for exactly 13 minutes before cutting out forever, transmitted coordinates that would haunt Marley's intelligence agencies for the next century. But here is what they did, and no, those coordinates match perfectly with ancient Eldian texts describing the sanctuary of the final path. The bloodline that history forgot. Every Attack on Titan fan knows the story of King Fritz's retreat to Paratus Island. But what if that wasn't the only exodus? What if, in the chaos of the Great Titan War, another group of royal blood Eldians escaped to somewhere far more remote and far more dangerous? Ancient Eldian manuscripts, recently decoded using AI translation technology, speak of a legendary figure known only as the Navigator. This mysterious royal claimed to possess knowledge of the true paths that led not just through time and memory, but through space itself. According to these texts, the Navigator led 1,440 for Eldians, a number that appears repeatedly in forbidden Marleyan documents, to the island that exists between worlds. The kicker: these weren't ordinary Eldians. They were the Founder Yi's personal guard warriors who had been exposed to concentrated spinal fluid from all 9 Titan powers simultaneously. Think about that for a moment. If exposure to a single Titan's spinal fluid can create pure Titans, what would exposure to all 9 create? The manuscript suggests something that should be impossible: a completely new form of Titan inheritance that doesn't follow the traditional rules. The island that defies reality. Satellite imagery from the past 30 years shows something that will make your blood run cold. At the exact coordinates transmitted by the Iron Wolf, there are occasional visual anomalies, shadows that suggest landmass where there should be none, weather patterns that spiral around empty water, and most disturbingly, what appears to be artificial light sources visible only during specific lunar phases. Indigenous peoples from nearby Pacific islands have legends dating back centuries about the Forbidden Shore, a place where the Skywalkers dwell in eternal watch. These legends describe beings of immense height who can step between the solid and the spirit realm, and who guard the 13th secret of the Earth Shakers. But here is where it gets really insane. Every single one of these legends mentions the same distinctive marking carved into the island's cliffs: the Attack Titan's distinctive jaw pattern. Modern deep-sea exploration has revealed massive underwater structures in the region that don't match any known geological formations. Sonar readings suggest walls, possibly defensive structures, extending from the ocean floor to just below the surface. The dimensions, exactly proportional to what Wall Maria, Wall Rose, and Wall Sina would look like if built by Titans significantly larger than even the colossal Titan. The 13th power, the Navigator Titan. Here's where everything clicks into place. What if the 13th Titan power wasn't a combat form like the others? What if it was something far more dangerous: the ability to manipulate space and perception itself? Think about it. How else could an entire island remain hidden from modern satellite technology? How could 1,444 people simply vanish from recorded history? And why would ancient texts refer to paths between worlds unless someone actually possessed the power to create them? The Navigator Titan wouldn't need to be massive or destructive. its power would be infinitely more terrifying. The ability to make entire locations exist outside of normal reality, to create pocket dimensions accessible only to those with Eldian blood, to hide entire civilizations in plain sight. This would explain why the island appears and disappears on modern surveillance, why compasses malfunction in the region, why radio signals cut out. The 13th Titan isn't just hiding on the island. The island itself is a manifestation of the 13th Titan's power. The Watchers in the deep, but the most chilling part isn't the island's existence, it is what the survivors might have become after 2,000 years of isolation. Remember, these weren't ordinary refugees. They were the Founder's elite guard, exposed to all 9 Titan powers, led by someone who possessed spatial manipulation abilities, cut off from the outside world, free to experiment and evolve without the limitations imposed by Marley or the vow-renouncing war. What would two millennia of unrestricted Titan experimentation produce? Recent analysis of Pacific Ocean currents has revealed trace amounts of an unknown organic compound that appears nowhere else on Earth. The molecular structure is eerily similar to Titan spinal fluid, but far more complex, as if it's been artificially enhanced or evolved beyond its natural state. Marine biologists have also documented the appearance of massive sea creatures in the region that don't match any known species. Creatures that seem to exhibit coordinated, almost intelligent behavior. Creatures that are exactly the size you'd expect if someone had been feeding Titan serum to marine life for centuries. What if the descendants of the Navigator haven't just been hiding? What if they've been building something? The signs are everywhere. Look at the evidence with fresh eyes. The peculiar frequency of unexplained disappearances in the South Pacific. The recurring reports of atmospheric anomalies in the exact region where the Iron Wolf vanished. The fact that no major power has ever claimed sovereignty over those coordinates despite intensive maritime exploration of every other inch of the Pacific. Most tellingly, buried deep in Marleyan military archives is a standing order issued in 1952 and renewed every decade since. Under no circumstances are naval vessels to approach coordinates redacted. Any crew reporting visual contact with uncharted landmass in specified region is to be debriefed under Protocol 7 and reassigned to inland duties immediately. Protocol 7, for those keeping track, is Marley's designation for Titan-related national security threats. The revelation that changes everything. So here's the truth that Isayama couldn't tell us. The secret that would have broken the entire narrative structure of Attack on Titan. The rumbling wasn't the end of the Titan curse. It was a signal. When Eren activated the founding Titan's power, when every wall Titan began their march toward global destruction, that massive release of Titan energy didn't just wake up the Titans in the walls. It sent a beacon across the paths to every location where Eldian blood still flows, including an island that shouldn't exist, inhabited by descendants of the world's most elite Titan warriors, led by inheritors of a power that can manipulate reality itself. The Wall Titans weren't just marching to destroy the world, they were marching to a rendezvous point. And now, with the original 9 Titan powers supposedly eliminated, with Paratus Island's defenses destroyed, with the world's military forces decimated by the rumbling, the descendants of the Navigator finally have a clear path home. The question isn't whether they're coming, the question is whether they're coming as saviors or conquerors. Because if you can hide an entire island for 2,000 years, what else might you be capable of?